You've lost someone you love, maybe a parent, a spouse, a child, and there's one question that keeps coming back to you. Will I see them again in heaven? Will they remember me? Will I recognize them? Or will eternity erase everything we were on earth? You've heard sermons, you've read verses, but the answers never felt complete. Until now. Today, we're unlocking the biblical truth, not traditions, not assumptions, about what really happens with our families in heaven. And what you'll discover in chapter 26 may completely redefine how you think about love, memory, and eternity. The question no one wants to ask: why do we fear being forgotten, even in heaven? We don't talk about it in church much, but deep down many believers wonder, what if we get to heaven and my mother doesn't recognize me? What if I'm just a soul among many? Let's confront this head on. What does the Bible really say? Not what we've assumed or heard in passing, but what God has clearly revealed. What did Jesus actually say? Jesus never avoided difficult truths. So what did he say about family, memory, and relationships in eternity? In Luke 20:34-36, he says, "People of this age marry and are given in marriage, but those who are considered worthy will neither marry nor be given in marriage." Does this mean we won't know our spouses in heaven? Hold that thought, because chapter 5 brings in surprising context that changes everything. Misunderstood. Verses that spark confusion. People often quote verses like, "There's no marriage in heaven," or "the old has passed away," 2 Corinthians 5:17, to suggest that all earthly identity is erased. But is that what Scripture really means? Let's dig deeper, because just like Jesus' parables, truth is often hidden in plain sight. What happens right after we die? Many believe we become spirits floating around, emotionless, faceless. But the Bible paints a different picture. Remember the Transfiguration in Matthew 17. Moses and Elijah appeared, and the disciples recognized them. Wait, Moses had been dead for over 1,000 years, yet he was identifiable. How? Stay with us, because chapter 7 reveals the heavenly identity blueprint that confirms this. No marriage in heaven doesn't mean no relationship. Let's go back to Luke 20. Jesus said marriage won't exist in heaven as it does on earth. Why? Because in heaven love is perfected. Earthly marriage is a shadow of our ultimate union with God. Ephesians 5:31-32. But does that erase all memory or connection? That's where 1 Corinthians 13:12 comes in. Then we shall know fully, even as we are fully known. What does fully known really mean? Chapter 9 will show you. Can love be eternal? If God is love, 1 John 4:8, and we were made in his image, then the relationships he created here were not accidents. They reflect a divine design, and God doesn't discard his designs, he perfects them. Moses, Elijah, and heavenly recognition. Back to the Transfiguration, Peter didn't ask, "Who are these men?" He knew. In heaven, it seems identity remains, but glorified, meaningful, recognizable. So will your grandmother recognize you in heaven? All signs point to yes. And when we reach chapter 15, we'll explore the stunning testimony of Lazarus and the rich man, where identity across eternity becomes unmistakable. God is not the author of confusion. 1 Corinthians 14:33 reminds us, God is not a God of disorder. He would not craft a heavenly experience where you wander endlessly in confusion about who's who. Memory isn't erased, it's redeemed. But how? Chapter 10 is key. We will know fully. What Paul meant? Paul writes in 1 Corinthians 13:12 that we will see face to face and know even as we are fully known. This implies a level of recognition deeper than we can currently comprehend, not less than human, but more. That means we'll know our loved ones, not by earthly flaws, but by their true, eternal selves. What about children in heaven? This one hurts the most. Will you see your miscarried child again? Will they know you? Biblical scholars and theologians often point to David's words in 2 Samuel 12:23 after his child died. I shall go to him, but he will not return to me. David didn't speak metaphorically. He believed in reunion. We'll return to this with a heart-shattering example in chapter 20, the Mount of Transfiguration, a deeper look. We often overlook one fact. Moses and Elijah did not lose their personalities. They spoke, they communicated, they had identity and purpose. So will we. And yes, you'll have yours too, the glory of the new body. Philippians 3:21 says Christ will transform our lowly body to be like his glorious body. Jesus was recognized after the resurrection, but something was different. His body was glorified, yet still him. We are promised that same kind of resurrection. So yes, your body will be new, but your soul will remain unmistakably you. Will we remember our pain? You might ask. If we remember each other, will we remember the pain? Isaiah 65:17 offers comfort. The former things will not be remembered, nor will they come to mind. This doesn't mean all memory is gone. It means pain loses its power. Memory is filtered through perfect peace, love that transcends death. Romans 8:38-39 reminds us that nothing, not even death, can separate us from the love of God. And if God's love is eternal, then the love we shared in him is too. Lazarus and the rich man, a story of recognition. In Luke 16, Jesus tells the story of the rich man and Lazarus. After death, both men still recognize each other. If memory was erased in eternity, why would Jesus include this detail? Because it's important. And what the rich man says in verse 27 might be the most telling line in the whole parable. A family reunion, like no other. Imagine this. A father who never knew Jesus on earth accepts him moments before death. His daughter had prayed for him every night. She's in heaven now. He enters. And in that moment, the reunion begins. What about broken families? Will there be awkwardness in heaven? The answer might surprise you. God doesn't just restore bodies, he restores hearts. Relationships broken on earth will be healed in eternity, not forgotten. What will we do in heaven? Relationships won't just exist, they'll thrive in a purpose-filled eternity. We'll worship, create, explore, and live in perfect harmony with those we loved. And chapter 24 will blow your mind with what Revelation says about heavenly assignments. How will we know it's really them? Think beyond the physical. In heaven, we will know people spirit to spirit. As God knows us, it will be instant, deeper than DNA. A recognition of eternal soul print, the testimony of a mother. What you're about to hear is not fiction. It's the story of a real woman whose pain was unbearable, whose loss seemed final, until God gave her a glimpse of what was to come. She lost her baby boy at just 24 weeks. The doctors said there was no heartbeat. She named him Caleb, held him, wept over him, and buried a piece of her heart that day. 3 years later, she collapsed from a severe allergic reaction. In the hospital, her heart stopped for 4 minutes. But what happened during those 4 minutes changed everything. She said she found herself standing in the brightest light she'd ever seen. And that's when she saw him. A little boy, about 3 years old. He had her eyes, his father's smile. And he ran to her, laughing. "Hi, Mommy," he said, wrapping his arms around her. "Jesus, let me wait for you." They hugged. She cried. She didn't want to let go. But then the boy looked up and said, "Mommy, you still have to go back." And just like that, she woke up on the hospital bed, alive, but forever changed. Was it a dream, or was it a glimpse into God's eternal promise? One thing is certain, God doesn't forget, and neither do the children waiting for us in glory. That reunion is real. Will my pets be there? We briefly touch this. While not explicit in Scripture, God's redemption seems to extend beyond just people. Isaiah 11 paints a picture of animals in eternity, peaceful, present, purposeful. Heavenly recognition, the scholar's perspective. C.S. Lewis, Randy Alcorn, and other great Christian thinkers all conclude, heaven will not strip away identity, it will complete it. What Revelation really says, Revelation 7 and 21, describe multitudes worshipping God. They come from every tribe, tongue, and nation, distinct yet united. Individuality is preserved, not dissolved. Your eternal assignment. Heaven isn't a cloud-sitting, harp-playing eternity. It's purpose-driven. You'll live, serve, lead, and yes, even create with those you loved on earth. The promise of Jesus. In John 14, Jesus says, "I go to prepare a place for you." He's not just preparing a place, he's preparing a reunion, what heaven's love will feel like. This chapter opens the door to a kind of love that surpasses understanding. Imagine perfect love, with no fear, jealousy, or pride. That's what you'll experience with your family in heaven, a message to the grieving. If you've lost someone, this is for you. You have not seen the last of them. You have not spoken your last word, and you have not felt your last embrace, preparing for the reunion. The best way to ensure you'll see your loved ones again? Know Christ, share Christ, because heaven isn't just a destination, it's a family gathering of the redeemed. One last question. What if your loved one didn't believe? We tackle this tender topic with truth and compassion, and a reminder, God is just and God is merciful. The final vision. Imagine it now. You're walking the streets of gold, and you see them. They turn, they smile, and suddenly you're home. Heaven is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of forever with the people God gave us on earth. So hold on to hope, hold on to Jesus, and remember, you will know them, and they will know you.